I think that's us. We're live.
Good evening.
Good evening and welcome. It is the 3rd of July. It's
How is that possible?
especially it's raining.
He said on the radio earlier, something about it's the 3rd of July, blah blah blah. And I thought, he just got the date wrong. That my head was so not that it's July. And then I was like, oh my god, no, he didn't get the date wrong. It's actually the 3rd of July.
Yeah, that's how messed up the world is. Or at least the UK is right now, that you can look outside and be like, that professional got it wrong.
I just thought it was still June. You know, like in my head, I was so, even though I know it's not, because I hit 6 months without nicotine.
Congratulations.
So I only did that update on Monday, so I know it is July somewhere. But yeah, when he said it's the 3rd of July, I was like, no, it's not. It's June. I was like, oh my god, it's actually July.
It's actually July, and it is International Plastic Bag Free Day.
Yeah, I think it's this week.
Is it this week?
Yeah, when I was looking at the awareness days and things like that for this month, I'm sure it's this whole week. And I don't know, is it plastic bags or is it single-use plastic? I can't remember. I was going to look it
I
up.
swear you said it was Plastic Bag
Is it?
Day. Yes. So it's just this idea of, we're paying 20p for them. We just said that
ban them.
Exactly. Other countries have.
That's the thing. When I spent a month in Antigua, plastic bags are banned there.
Exactly.
Don't get me wrong. Sometimes we forgot our bag, but we're just like, you'd be carrying your shopping in your top or whatever. You forgot your bag. You just get around it. You soon start to remember because they're not an option. Yeah. So
there's so many hacks and tricks that we've got because we know that as fellow ADHDers, we suck at remembering that bag for life. I know I've got a bag full of bag for lives, which I think in financial terms is about £1,000 under my sink. So I need to sort that out. But before we get any further, like and subscribe.
Yes.
I never remember to do this at the start. You're always remembering, and I'm here. I'm ready. And everyone's popping off in the chat. I love it. Alexi and Melise. Melise. They have been here since, I think, before we even started. Excited for it to start. That's really heartwarming.
Yes. And we were a little bit late, weren't we? As always.
As always. ADHD. Hi, Kat. I love how everyone, I end up reading the ones that you're putting to each other, and I'm like,
it's really
even part of them. I just like that they're happening.
Hi guys, 60th episode.
It is the 60th episode. I didn't know if that was
I like a round number.
It is a round number, isn't it? I was like, when it's the 100th, we need to do something special.
See, I was thinking about that because I think Steph said it last week about it being the 100th, and I thought that's still 40 weeks away. There's only 52 weeks in a year, so it's still quite a long.
Oh my god, that's only just hit me now.
Yeah, like the way you stopped then, I thought, oh my god, I've got that wrong. But do you get what I mean? It's actually quite a while away still, so we haven't got to stress just yet about getting into.
Calm down, guys. But that's how this ADHD brain thinks. You're like, oh, it's like for another year, and then
before you know it, it'll be another
tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're like, oh no, I didn't plan to any of that. So if you have any ideas for the 100th episode, put them in the comment below.
Hopefully, we'll be able to go on the bus somewhere and do by then we'll be on the road with the podcast, so we won't just be in a studio, which is exciting.
Ooh, it's been an exciting week. I feel like we left each other last week and we had the Peace Education project on Friday.
Yeah.
And that was awesome.
Wasn't it inspiring?
It's really lovely. It's cool being linked into so maybe you can explain what it is before we go on about it.
How put you on the spot. Yes. So we are affiliated with another initiative that is called Celebrate Our Similarities, which I think is really cool because we're focused on the word different and they're focused on the word similarities. And one of their core values is inner peace.
Yeah.
And peace with the world as well and the environment. So I mean, Kamala's the main person, isn't she? She's the founder and definitely does a majority of the work, although she has got some volunteers. But their mission is to connect us in the local vicinity, because in Leicestershire, where we are based, we have got the highest ethnic majority in the world.
Yeah.
So we believe that we're perfectly placed for setting a really good example of what peace can mean and collaboration between community and things like that.
Yeah, it's that idea of not just tolerance, but to celebrate each other, to fully live together harmoniously.
And and to showcase what we all bring as a community. Obviously, celebrate our similarities is talking about the fact that we're all human.
Yeah, definitely.
And it doesn't matter what your religion is or what your culture is, in terms of, it doesn't need to divide us. They can be the things that actually connect us.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's really interesting. We see a lot of it. I know it's like election tomorrow. If you didn't know and you're able to vote, make sure you go and do it. Or go and destroy the ballot paper if you don't know who you're voting for. Just make sure it gets counted.
Yeah.
Either way, there's a lot of like hoopla at the minute about racism stuff and make Britain British again. And it's like, do you mean slop food? And because what makes Britain to me is the multi-diverse tea.
A good cup of tea.
Let's think about tea. Where in the UK can you grow tea?
Well, that's the thing. Even tea reminds me of India more than anything.
It's an Indian import.
Yeah,
it's insane. Like nothing that's British is really that British. You know what I mean?
We are a mixture.
Yeah. And when I'm saying like, I'm not very like patriotic in the terms of being British, but when it comes to understanding how multi-diverse we are, I am proud of that.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose that at all.
And the thing is, you know, when I went through a few years of going traveling, especially basically before lockdown hit. I was doing a lot of traveling, a lot of solo traveling, and so many people were like, "Oh, you're from the UK," and they really wanted to speak to you. Because they want to better their English, like their speaking of English, so they really want to talk to you. They want to know if their slang's correct because they want to sound English, and because they love the country. But I was the one left embarrassed because I couldn't talk in their language, they could talk in mine. I just felt really ignorant.
Yeah.
And partly that's the education system not doing its kind of job, in terms of, I think there is too much of this, like, you're English, blah blah blah. We run everything. No, like
yeah. Unfortunately, we were the biggest empire, right? And we're not anymore. And rather than adapting, we're being like, "Ugh, foreigners," and it's like, no, we need to start adapting that because they're ahead of us. They know what we're talking about. We don't know what they're talking about. That, by rules of, like, you know, if you play a strategic game, that already you're like,
puts us on the back foot a little bit.
Exactly.
But going back to celebrate our similarities, and the fact that we're from Leicestershire, it was nice to be so positive, wasn't it? There was an element of is it Rob Nixon, the chief of police? He got a little bit hot seated, didn't he? Being the only leader that turns up, and
he at least came to give an award as well, didn't he?
Well, and he's been to quite a few. Out of every leader, he is supportive and he does care. And I've spoken to a member of his force since, who says he's actually a very genuine. He doesn't know the guy because it's all proper, and you know, but he says he's like a very genuine guy and takes his work really seriously. So, if you're watching, I had your back a little bit.
Yeah, and do you know what the thing is? It wasn't on that guy to be representing all of the police. Yeah. That man just caught like the wrong point that time. Yeah, and it was I liked it because it wasn't aggressive. It wasn't, but it was a discussion that I had to have. Unfortunately, it was at the end, and it was kind of cutting into like some. We had good time to like celebrate people.
Yeah, and we had to leave by a certain time, didn't we? Because the building was going to be shut.
But that literally just highlighted that okay, we need to be having these discussions more, because, and not just this one guy being sent, because he was not prepared for this blessing. He was like, I came to give and do you know me? I'm ACAB, F the police, whatever. But I felt sorry for this dude. Yeah. He didn't need to catch this stray L.
And he did cope really well actually as well, didn't he?
Definitely.
Fair play to him.
And so yeah.
But their main thing with celebrate our similarities, and I'd like to talk about it in a future episode, is the peace education program.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be really cool to bring it to people.
Yeah, I want to facilitate it. I want to because anybody can deliver it, but you have to go through the training. So celebrate our similarities can deliver it. So all we need to do is get some dates set. It's free because it's run by volunteers, and the whole point is that it's voluntary. Yeah. And that's why it's free and it's accessible. And I did it in 2021, I think it was. And it was life-changing for me. Like, I can't wait to do it again, because it's one of those programs where there's not like this is what you're going to learn and this is how you're going to learn it. It's very like, there's just a video and it shows you, and there's a word. Each session is based around a word, like dignity or respect. and it's about what you learn from that. It's very individualized. It's lovely. It's a brilliant program. So
I think that's wicked because we are all individual, right? Teaching as a blanket like solution for stuff or a blanket acknowledgement for something doesn't really like fit all. You know, we need these individuals. So if you can gain your own lesson through like an internal, I really like that.
And that's why I want to do it again, because I've come a long way since 2021. Like, so I know I'll learn a whole scope of it. I'll be completely re-inspired by it, and
that sounds wicked.
I cannot big it up enough. So,
and we spoke to Billa as
well.
That's what you
say. Billa Nanra.
Literally, if you want to question how well this project works, it's being done in prisons, and this is where Billo was found. He found this poster about the priest project, and he was like, okay, I'm going to change my life around. I don't want to give away too much of his story because I'm really hoping he comes and talks to us. If we're nice to him.
His story always gives me goosebumps because it shows how powerful the peace education program is for the individual, and then what it did for him, and then what he's now doing for others. It's like, it is like those lighting of the candles, isn't it? And you just see this whole spreading of light.
It's gorgeous.
Just going to the chat quickly. You're getting some love for your t-shirt, for your cool design.
Oh, I love that. Both look so pretty in every stream. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
It's really nice being told every week that we look really pretty.
It's good for the ego. The rest of the week I'm like, oh, I wonder if I look good. I need to ask the chat. But Kat, loving your t-shirt, Steph. Thank you. This is Pusheen, and he's doing this way. I love Pusheen. It's I think it's Japanese, isn't it, Kat?
Oh yeah, she'll definitely know.
And also representing Mrs. Pom Pom.
Yeah.
I don't know if
in fact it's the curious. She had changed the Mrs. Pom Poms was the workshop, but it was the curious closet, was it?
The curious. Oh, it's green.
What did it say?
Green. It is the Curious Closet, original handmade upcycle fashion. So we went to van life, right? And we're walking around, and normally when I go to somewhere like this, I spend all my money on food, but it was no takeaway, and it kind of it seemed like takeaway food. So I was like, I'm just gonna cook my own food, bring my own food.
Nice.
Which meant I had money to get something.
I love that jacket.
It's just £35.
I'm intrigued to know when you turn around because the tassels are green at the top.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it turns you into the background. Oh my god, that is so cool. I'm going to wear a green outfit next week and just become the background. The floating head.
Yeah, there's certain rules now. We've got a green screen. You can't wear green. Don't bring anything green.
Yeah.
And it's just, it will look ridiculous. A little bit funny.
The chat, whilst you guys are saying about, because Melissa's saying that the stream really cheers her up when she's feeling down, which is lovely to hear, and
really
it does the same for me as well. I mean, I'm in a great mood today, but some weeks I'm like, ugh.
We do, don't we? Yeah. Sometimes we're texting before, like, shall we?
Yeah, like feeling down.
Come on, let's go and do it. And by the time we're leaving this house, we're both like,
we feel like we're having a chat with everyone though as well, don't we? But how would people be set if we experimented going live on a Thursday moving forward rather than a Wednesday? And we're asking you guys because now, you know, you're pretty regular now. So before, when we made this decision, it was June, and we were getting different people come on, but everybody was coming on differently because they've got different plans on Wednesdays and things. And every time we've accidentally done it on a Thursday, it seems to go down really, really well. We get more viewers.
Really strangely. But at the same time, we don't want to...
Well, we want you guys every week, so...
If you guys are always here, do you know what I mean? So if it means keeping it on a Wednesday for you guys, then I'm open to it. But if you guys think, because it's also, I don't know if you've noticed, the streams are getting less views. I don't know what's happening. And I feel like maybe a bit of an algorithm shake-up.
Yeah, it might help. We've got one, Thursday's cool, I'll always be here.
Oh, I could literally cry. Literally.
Let's see what Alexa says as well. But yeah, if you guys are free to try it on a Thursday, then we're going to try it on a Thursday from next week. We'd actually put it down from this week. It was only when we checked the schedule to see what we'll cover, and we were like, oh gosh, we're meant to be on a Thursday, and we've not spoke to anybody about it. So
I hate it. Yeah, Thursdays are cool. I'll always be here. We love you both. As long as you're doing what you always do, I'll be there.
Oh, that's lovely.
I know. What would we do?
Really appreciative. So before we go any further, what did everyone think about England's performance at the weekend? And we've got to go through it all again on Saturday.
Oh my god! If I have to be in another coma before you electric electric shocks to wake me up, and then I was just buzzing.
Yeah.
For the rest of that thing, and nothing else came, but I was still like,
Yeah.
it could be anything. Just keep it, don't let it go.
We went to the pub for it, and it went up like,
it was
oh,
nuts.
it was nuts. It was almost a little bit disturbing. Like, I was like, if I'd have had a drink, I'd have been way more relaxed. But because I'm sober, I'm like watching chairs getting flung about and beer and thinking, oh my god, you know, like,
Oh my god, yeah, I didn't think of that.
yeah. So it made me wary by how leery everybody got. But on the other end, it's that spark that England always seem to pull out of the bag, where, you know, you're there like, I hate them, this is embarrassing, I'm never gonna support them ever again, that's it, I'm not putting myself through it. And then you're like, they're the best.
And like all I've ever heard from like Sedge, right? She'll say, if you want something to happen, manifest it. And as I'm watching it, I'm listening to Alan Shearer and his miserable takes on everything. I get it, we're shit, but like, shush for this 90 minutes about how bad they are. I know you've got to make commentary, but make it constructive. It got like depressing, and I was like, we're never gonna win. And then that beautiful 21-year-old, my god.
Yeah.
Bellingham, you beautiful man, literally. Oh my
Out,
word.
out.
Except as he scored it, they were like, turn 21 on Sunday. I was like,
Did it?
oh, I should probably
probably shouldn't look
reconsider
at
my
that.
fancying him. But hey, thank you, sir.
I love that. Alexi went out with her dad and left the place covered in beer. That's the thing, isn't it? It kind of adds to the excitement, though, right? Everyone is just so crazy over the football. Like the lads I was watching were all like hugging each other. In a way, it's nice to see men being allowed to express their
It
feelings.
just sucks. It's the only time.
It's the only time that they're allowed to actually show emotion and it not be seen as, oh, all right, stop getting angry. But we back you every time, guys.
And Kat says any day for me as well. Thank you, Kat. Appreciate it. Resident hype girl. I'm almost certain that. So if we start next week,
yeah,
on a
next
Thursday,
week we'll go from a Thursday just to see
okay
how it pans out.
we'll do that. And also, if you've not seen the interview with Pip, there are free tickets to win to go and see her Edinburgh show. So if you'd like the chance to win them, literally go to that video, the Pip interview. I'll put it in the description below when we're finished. And you can literally just comment anything. I want the tickets. Gimme mine. And you're in the chance to win them. We'll be picking the winner on Friday, and there's currently no comments. We'll get in there because it's free tickets to an Edinburgh Festival show, an award-winning show as well.
Yeah, an award-winning show.
And then tomorrow we've got the interview with Louisa, who is the founder of Barefoot Festival.
Yeah, really cool interview again.
It was really fun talking to her, and also one of the easiest things I've ever had to edit because I didn't have to edit anything. It's all gold. She's amazing. She's so sweet. We didn't say anything. It's normally me that says something crazy. It all went really well, so I'm really excited to get that out to you. And yeah, that'll be tomorrow.
And we've only got now 2 or 3 weeks until Barefoot, so
yes,
get your tickets. Make sure you get there. We're going to be there for stall. And sorry guys, I've just got to ask Steph if she's seen this, but I shared a post about volunteers. Have you seen the 2 people that commented on it who said they might, like, they're going to try? Jade from Community.
Oh my god.
And Sarita.
Oh my god.
Both like, oh, I might try and do this. Like, how cool would that be?
Oh my god, that would be awesome.
Yeah, Jade's got to see if she can get the respite dates changed for her daughter, and then she'll be done.
Yeah. But yeah, that would be awesome. Please, oh god. All right, let's manifest it now. Jade and Sarita.
I know. How awesome would that be?
That's the original. Well, my original festival posse, anyway.
Yeah.
Going for time, but
I suppose put the details in the community chat and said if anybody can make this. Maybe I should still do that. Maybe that's my sign to do that.
Oh, Steph and Debs, you're in.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Edinburgh Festival show tickets. Yeah. In the comments.
It's a good. That's a good connection. Well, yeah, well played.
I need to contact everyone I know in Scotland, I think, because it's people up there, isn't it? But, right, okay, so the first thing I wanted to show you, again, it's just really little, and it's actually nothing to do with the main topic, but it was a video from, open a new window. I knew it was going to do that, so I'll have to rethink it. So it's an excerpt from a podcast. It's really short, but it's from Rick Glassman. And when he talks about his autism, it always just like, it makes me cry, but also want to give him a hug. So I
Aww.
wanted to share it with you. I will refresh the page.
Autism in my 30s, and I have a bit where I talked about, like, I didn't realize I didn't have friends growing up until recently. I always thought everybody was busy. I just believed that I can't hang out, Rick. Kids would make excuses, and I would say, can my mom talk to your mom? I mean, there's such a dirty feeling that I found myself, and that's on me. I found myself, instead of just expressing myself or trying to better understand the way I communicate and how others could communicate more efficiently with me, I found myself in positions where I was like almost selling. No, you don't understand. You don't know some of the things that I don't show. You don't know some of the things when I'm alone. You don't understand all the special schools and special classes and isolation things when I was a kid. And it was like, what am I selling you on how long it took me to put on some fucking socks? And it just felt so dirty to where I stopped talking about it. I hate the idea of speaking for autism as opposed to speaking to my experiences, which relate to autism when it does. Yeah. The not picking up on the social cues, the taking things literally, having a difficult time adapting to situations, my sensitivities to sounds and smells and textures, my obstacles in empathizing with points of view that I don't have intuitively, me not understanding that even though I'll say, hey, I'm feeling vulnerable and uncomfortable and setting my own boundaries, other people either don't want to or don't know how to do that. Me learning how to give people a safe space, not because it's my responsibility, but because if I don't, then they're not going to connect with me. And it's changed my life.
And it's a little brief one there, but my eyes are like watering up when I listen to him. I love Rick Glassman. If you've never seen him, he's a comedian and one of the funniest comedians that you'll ever see. He's so clever. And you can see how this idea of like being so funny comes out of pain. And this idea of self-deprecating, it comes so much easier when you've had it almost given to you your whole life.
That's your experience.
I've got my material, let's go.
Yeah.
And he's talking to Rainn Wilson there from The Office. I love Rainn Wilson. And just the way that you was explaining it there, I think it's perfect. And I think we talk about this new understanding of autism, about how this spectrum isn't like, you've got a few extra things and that makes you autistic. It's understanding that you've got a completely different set of keys to the average person. Yeah. Or like a mixing desk where you've got all these different, different levers that change the sound in a different way. Knowing that we've got a different mixing board. We're not playing with the same one that you've got.
Yeah. It's not just the same board, different. It's a completely different board.
People show up, appearing to look traditionally autistic, and people are getting missed because they don't. And Rick is one of them. He's talking about how it felt dirty having to try and convince people he was, but then deep down understand, well, I have these struggles. It's a double-ended, like,
God, I definitely relate to that whole convincing people, like, because sometimes I'm like, I really struggle, but then you think, I don't know, you question yourself, but you also think, I don't want to make this negative. So you're like, actually, I'm fine,
Exactly. And it starts molding your life, right? And I feel like, if there's any guys out there that are struggling with their autism, he's a great person to follow. Women as well, for sure.
Yeah.
But
there's definitely an element for men more so where it's like, oh, what, you're not the same kind of thing. Like,
there was a bit in there where he said about realizing that I have to change the way I am, not because there's anything wrong with me, understanding I will struggle to connect with people if I don't do that.
Yeah.
And I think men have that very hard. They're taught, aren't they? Be a man, be you. And if you're not strictly like that, it can be a little bit difficult. Yeah. And it's like, well, I shouldn't bend for anyone then. I should just be more apologetic even myself. More. But it's like, not quite like that. I said, Bimley's word, literally walked to the moon and back to see you two. Oh, love you guys. I need to stop pausing to give the flattering cats. I'll keep it going. You're making me feel good, girls.
Very kind of you to say so.
Out of interest, when you're in your like groups of friends, if someone was to come up to you and say, I don't know,
I'm autistic because we're autistic.
Can you imagine saying to that person, like,
no, you're not.
No, you're not. Or like, is there a way that goes down where am I just seeing this too black and white?
Do you know what I've been struggling with recently is the whole when there's a group of friends, like a social group of friends, if one of you is diagnosed autistic, chances are the rest of you are neurodivergent as well, and that's why you're all hanging out together. Because what I've been tending to find, even when I talk to parents of, so the parents have got kids, and their kids are hanging out with 5 other kids, and of those 5, 2 of them are diagnosed, one with ADHD and one with autism, say, and then it's like, why it needs to be more of a kind of broader understanding that chances are then that your kid is also ADHD and autistic, and that's why they're hanging out with them, because they just naturally get it. Like, it's kind of birds of a feather flock together type aspect. And I think in a way that can make things confusing, kind of where it's like, well, everyone feels like that. No, just you lot do, because you're all on the same spectrum.
So when you move school and you don't necessarily move with that group of friends, that could really expose that, right?
Yeah,
you suddenly don't have this crowd of like an echo board almost. Like, we get along together. Suddenly it's like, oh my god, I don't know how to make friends, because it was like, all of those people made it so easy. Now I've got to try and find, and you'll find the other ones again that will bring you in.
I love that, Alexi. That's kind of like what I'm like when people come and disclose to me quite a lot, like, because they know we do this podcast. Oh, I'm ADHD, I'm autistic, or if they've suddenly gained a diagnosis, they get in touch. Guess what I've been diagnosed with? And I always say, yay, you know, like, yeah, welcome to the club, you know, make it a positive thing. Because I think too many people are like, oh, sorry to hear that. What do you mean, sorry to hear that?
It's not a death penalty. I understand myself.
Yeah, exactly. It's the first step towards kind of getting to know yourself better and healing.
Yeah.
And realising it's not your fault. All of those things are not your fault.
Elise says, if I told someone I had developmental disorder and they didn't believe me, that would proper upset me. It would, right?
Yeah.
Especially if that person isn't your doctor. I mean, if they were your doctor, that would be equally upsetting. Be like, hey, no, I need your help. But yeah, in terms of like people that you're with day to day, if someone tells you they've got an issue or they think they may have an issue, even if you know someone with that condition or that disorder and you're like, well, I've seen it presented in them, it doesn't seem like you, just,
it doesn't make you an expert. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's again an indicator to look into yourself, because I don't mind if people say, oh, I don't believe in ADHD. I'm like, that's fine, I don't believe in it. And you know, it doesn't change anything about whether I'm ADHD or not, you not believing in it. Like, poof, and it disappears. You know. But if it's somebody that's close to you and they're trying to say that your needs don't exist because they don't, because it's like, regardless of if you believe in ADHD or not, I still suffer with sensory disorder and I still suffer with rejection sensitivity, you know.
I was diagnosed with autism in my 30s.
I think that's the thing to...
I think it's interesting you said that, because I look in these comment sections and I saw one today. Sounds like a normal intelligence, not person, not autism.
What?
Yeah, they've changed a little since the last time I looked at it.
Yeah.
I'll be 40 this year. There was one that was literally, it's not showing me now. It was along the same things. It was like, you're not autistic, you're just weird and funny. And I was like, yeah.
Oh my god, like, there's still
brag, but yeah,
it's still labels though, isn't it? It's like, regardless of what label, I've always been labelled, but before I was labelled as over the top.
But that was it, literally in that thing it says don't need to conform to a label. It's like, you just give us them.
I had a comment in, because I did a TikTok about my granddad's train set, and spoke about the fact that he was put in the corner with a dunce hat on, like, as a youngster, and made to feel like he was completely unintelligent and not worthy because he couldn't pick up reading and writing the same way everyone else could. And I was talking about that over the top of these trains, and this person commented saying, that's the problem with people like you, labeling everybody and all this, that, and the other. And I commented back just saying, like, you're literally doing the thing that you said by pointing the finger at me. You know, and just, you know, it's like people like you, like, you have no idea what I'm doing. I work with young people, inspiring them every single day to become themselves. The labels are not my fault. You know, like, it was just bizarre. But the way that I responded was basically making them see that you are the one that's now labeling me. Can you not see that? It's just madness.
Literally how I felt when you heard what you said. I was like, huh?
Yeah, that's the problem with people like me giving people labels. Like, I'm not dissing the I didn't make this society, moron. I'm trying, I'm trying to say that my granddad felt worthless, and if they'd have understood him more, then he wouldn't have felt that way. Like, okay, but it's my problem, is it? I get it.
So yeah. Oh, I'll let him know you're his new grandson. I'm sure he'll love that.
We're going to talk about comorbidities next week, though,
Yeah.
aren't we? That's next week's plan.
Yeah.
So
There's a lot of them.
the broader spectrum of diagnosis, as it were, because when I now know all the comorbidities, I am textbook ADHD. Like, my mum took me to the doctors for all these other things, and it's like, if we had a broader understanding of the fuller picture, you'd be quicker to look out for the other things, because you'd be like, oh, this kid's like got texture things when they're eating, they've got psoriasis, they've got a bit of asthma. I don't know, but you know what I mean? It's like those other things that tend to come hand in hand.
The immune deficiency,
Yeah.
different things. They've got, it's such a relief when you're diagnosed with something, because it literally just makes everything fall into place and feels so much better knowing that was that was the problem. It's not me. I'm just doing my best, with my genetics and my experiences.
And that's the thing, I was never even officially diagnosed. Don't get me wrong, I've been on the waiting list now for about 4 years, but I assess it in schools, and it was through doing those assessments that I was like, hold on a minute. dun dun dun, so, and that was enough for me. So I'm a firm believer that self-diagnosis is enough for you to just crack on with making things easier.
The waiting list is way too long for you to be waiting for a doctor to be like, yep.
Yeah.
If you identify that way and the information you're getting is helpful to you.
Yeah, that's all.
I don't care what doctor tells you you're not ADHD after that. If it's helping you, by all means, go and get that help. Go and get those resources.
Oh, that's basically what Alexis is saying. I think I've not got my specs on, so.
Also, not everyone has the resources to get officially tested, so even if somebody suspects they have something because of research, I'll always support it.
There we are. You're literally on the same page, girl. Love it.
I had to go to university to be that smart. What did you do? How did you get that smart? What school did you go to? They owe you money. Or they need some sort of awards. That's really, really smart. I don't know. You're under drinking age, and you've already got them. Where I'm really impressed. I'm like gobsmacked. Literally had to go to university to learn that. So yeah, I'm just a bit humbled. But
I think young people are getting wiser. They've got a definite blessed wisdom. I need to recognise this.
Yeah, I was a dumbass. You all got yourself sorted.
It's on a different trajectory. I was going to say trajectory then.
I can't even trajectory.
Yeah, like everybody's on their own life path, isn't it?
It sounds like the word tragic's in there, and that sounds bad. Trajectory.
Trajectory. I was thinking, like, it sounds like the word. It sounds like it's meant to be the word track. You're on a track. Anyway, everyone's on their own path.
Yeah. Less of that stoner talk. Let's go on to the main thing, and okay, the intro first, and we'll see you.
Why is it like this? Haters should be loved, we invited. You don't agree, then you're the problem that we're fighting. Open up your mind, stand up, become righteous. Why is it like this? Instead of haters should be loved, we invited. You don't agree, then you're the problem that we're fighting. Open up your mind, stand up, become righteous.
Intro 45 minutes in.
Hey, it's really 45 minutes in.
Well, 40 minutes in. It's too good to not play it, though, isn't it? So,
exactly. It just, it's about to actually start now. Stop.
And
then how long it takes.
We need a 2-hour podcast.
That's really interesting. That's so funny. But yeah, International Plastic Bag Free Day /week/ let's go more plastic free. So,
yes.
Why do we go plastic free? What's the point of it?
Because it doesn't biodegrade for millions of years.
Right.
So even if we disappeared as a human race, which one day we will, most likely get wiped out for our own stupidity at some point.
Sadipa.
Plastic, like the whole world would reclaim itself and become beautiful, and the animals and all that. But plastic would remain. It's one of those substances that doesn't bloody go away. And it's not
Yeah.
like, I know we've become reliant on it, but actually you see so many solutions, like in other countries where they use banana skins as packaging, things that biodegrade. So I think if we can raise a little bit of awareness around what you can do, because it's hard, right? Like,
Yeah. Western society, I mean, plastic is everywhere. It's on everything. And we'll focus more on the single-use plastic.
Yeah.
That's currently understood that's what the problem is. We can't recycle it, and that's where it just becomes nothing. It will never be anything useful again. But again, if you go to other countries, not only do they not rely on the same things that we do, like plastic bags for shopping, they also have these initiatives where they have clear up things. So my friend Joe in Portugal, he has like an art studio place that he volunteers at in Ericeira, and they go out into the sea, they collect all like the rubbish and stuff, and then they make artwork with it.
Oh, that makes me feel so happy.
There's like this big, like, I think it's like a dolphin made out of flip-flops that have just been left there, and there's like a load of stuff and it's all made to bring awareness to like the overfishing of tuna and all these different messages. It's wicked. But like kids can go there on the sea and go and play and like learn things. It's really cool.
It all kind of ties in, doesn't it?
Yeah, and those sort of initiatives literally go on everywhere else other than the UK, it seems. So
I've seen like as well where they do the big collections like that, and then they like, I don't know if it's exactly this, but it's something along these lines. They kind of melt all the plastic down into bricks and then use it to make a house out of, say. So it's like eco houses made
these
out of
modular houses, right?
yeah.
It's
and
insane. You can 3D print them.
yeah, it just makes me feel more positive that things are being done. But today I went shopping and I was thinking about this episode, and I was like, every single thing is covered in plastic, everything.
And then you pay, organic, but then it's got plastic around it.
Yeah,
And you're like,
I can wash it at home. I can just wash it.
My morals, my ethics are confused by this packaging and the way it's sold to me. I don't understand. But it's another thing, right? Plastic packaging. Even when they have these refill packets, they're plastic.
Yeah. I mean, years and years and years ago, I made a resolution. I was like, oh, I'm going to go plastic free in life. I'm going to stop using single-use plastic. And then from that point, I realised that it was everywhere in my life. I was like looking even at and I'm not, even though, because this is the thing, sorry, I'm going about 50 points all in one. When you're ADHD, or actually not just when you're ADHD, when you're me, I'm really like turned on by bright colours and packaging, and can walk into Superdrug and have a meltdown because I want it all. It's like I'm very visually stimulated. But and some people are like, it's the smells, isn't it? It's having new products, and I've had to retrain myself to not be turned on by it, because it's like, no, you don't need all those things. So I already walked into my bathroom and I'm not one of these girls with loads of cosmetics. I've got like a shower gel, a shampoo, a conditioner, mouthwash, very like one of each. And straight away I'm like, how do I go plastic free then? Because there's this and this and this, and it's taken like a good 4 or 5 years to slowly get just the 3 habits I've written down into place, and then it's like work on the next one. So I certainly don't want anyone out there to feel like, oh my god, it's a losing battle.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? And I feel like no matter what, you as the consumer will never be fully at fault. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's industries, there are institutions out there that are responsible for making this more easy for us, and they're not doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
When you look at the fishing and all the nets that are literally left after fishing, they equate to way more plastic than anything that straws could ever fill up in the ocean.
Yeah,
when you look at the actual percentage, that
it makes me angry, because
it's horrible,
it's you do end up feeling helpless. And then you can end up feeling like, well, what's the point? But there is always a point, if all of us made one little change, it actually does equate to quite a big change.
It's especially within you as well. If you feel like you've got this moral, like, oh, I can't save the world, no. But if you know yourself that the way you can carry yourself is better, then that's all you really need to sleep at night. I know that sounds really horrible, but you're like, I'm not contributing towards it.
Even if your first step is being aware of those shopping habits.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, consumerism is a huge problem. So packaging, walking in and falling for that, oh, I need this because it looks nice, and I need this because it looks nice. you know, just being aware of that and trying to stop that is a bit of progress.
Yeah, and so we know, we understand, right? We've all been. I feel like the UK, we've had these initiatives to like recycle more, to use these. They've brought in the shopping bags, start charging us for them, but it's still not enough. And for the ADHD brain, for me, it's memory.
Yeah.
All these things are a great idea. Like, yeah, I can get chewable toothpaste, I can get all these different things, and then it comes to me needing them, and I'm like, oh, I need them right now.
Yeah.
Do I order online?
Yeah.
Yeah, or go and get like, and it just by that time I'm like, oh, I'll just, and again, that's lazy me. Let me just like, you know, this is busy lifestyle me. Like, oh, I'll just do that.
That's the other thing, isn't it? We've all got a lifestyle that's been built. There's only so much control that it just is. Don't be hard on yourself. Just take the baby steps as and when you can.
Yeah, you have to unlearn all this stuff that you took for granted as if it was just law. You know, if you brush your teeth, it comes out of a tube. End of.
I did a video the other day, but I've not actually made anything out of it, published it, just because I remembered shopping bags, and I have got quite good at it again now. But I was like, I feel like such an adult, like I've conquered life just by remembering shopping bags.
The times I remember it, my God,
you like
feel good.
Yeah. And this is the crazy thing, because it's like we've achieved so much in terms of the community that we've built and the people that we've helped, and yet we're like, yes, when we remember shopping bags.
Yeah, it's important because it's such a like again and again and again, and people say, oh, you should leave them in your car. Well, I do. Then they shopping goes in them, then I bring them in my house, and then they're not in my car anymore. I don't know what else you want from me. But I've been looking. There are some solutions. My parents actually have a very good one for when they go shopping. They've not used bags before the ban came in. Ban charge. So I think they've been going shopping together. They get a hold all bag, you know, like what you take you on holiday.
Oh yeah.
Like you put your gym kit in or whatever.
Yeah.
That goes straight into the boot. So they take the trolley, goes straight back in the trolley when you paid for it, and then at the back of the car they just put that stuff straight into the hold all thing, and then my stepdad can carry the whole bag in.
Clever, I like it.
It's a good one.
Leaving the bags in the car is definitely what's helped me. And then
how do you get the bags back in the car?
Well, that's what I was just going to say. And then, like, as soon as like today, I've unpacked my shopping. As soon as I did that, I put all the bags on my coat, so that when I've left to come here, I've put my coat on and I've bought them and put them straight back in the car.
You cannot ignore them. They're on the thing you need to wear when you go outside.
I mean, it does come down to being a bit disciplined again. We spoke about how important discipline is. I could easily just leave them, forget them, whatever. But it's like, it's just kind of getting yourself into that. No, I am. And don't get me wrong, there is still the odd time I forget the bags, but I've definitely got better.
She's not a robot.
Alexis just said about they're making the rings that hold the beers together.
Oh yeah.
Out of plants, because they're some of the most common beach waste, and they've just discovered a way to make them biodegradable, which makes me really happy. If I ever seen those on the floor and they were unbroken, I'd pick them up and break them, like even if they weren't mine. So
I'm almost certain that a good percentage of our generation and lower all do that.
Yeah. Because we've seen the hedgehogs get stuck in
the hedgehogs, the turtles, literally when you've seen them like grow around.
Yeah, it's horrible. Like, I hate those images. Got way too much empathy. It's like, I already do that. Don't disturb me with that image.
Oh God, yeah, I know. Nick would go fishing. He'd say about some bird that went past and a net would be stuck on its foot, and I'm like, how can you fish?
Yeah, I'd have to follow it.
Yeah, that's so sad. I understand there's like probably a safer way of fishing and stuff, but it's just. I don't like it. Poor bird.
No, it's not nice at all.
But
so any other plastic-free solutions then that you'd like to share? I mean, the bag one's wicked.
And I'll be honest, I am awful at recycling. I've only really recently started like rinsing the tins and stuff and putting it, because I found out that the pizza boxes aren't recyclable.
Yeah, because the grease that's on the cardboard. Like. Usually I rip the lid off and put the lid in the recycling, because that's not got any grease on it, and the rest in the bin.
Or as well as this, I found out if you put a pizza box into the recycling, it makes the whole bin unrecyclable.
Yeah.
Under their terms.
Yeah.
And again, I know that this is not recycling rules. This is the rules that are being set.
Yeah, I feel like they use that as an excuse. It's like, right, now I've not got to sort through any of that.
Exactly.
I mean, there's even arguments in that the recycling plants are just dumping the lot anyway, so what's the point in recycling? But it's like, if that makes you feel better to not recycle because you believe that they're not doing it, do whatever you need to do.
No. My thing with this is what I mean about blaming the individual. Like, there's only so much you can do,
Yeah.
and there's somewhere like people that take plastics, whatever, they charge you when you drop your stuff off there, but then they also charge for the electricity that's gained from churning it up, and
Oh, really?
so they make money on both ends in this.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy. But yeah, in terms of my own personal thing, I was hoping you had some tips for me.
Well, I've not got tips as such, but I've got a few suggestions.
Okay.
So, the first one is I swapped, nice and simple, swapped from shower gel to soap. But a
Okay.
lot of people in our community have got sensitive skin, and I think maybe before there wasn't so many options for soap, but it's definitely, the products available are definitely on the rise.
Let's have a look.
So I having the intro again.
Sorry.
I
React cam. Here we are.
I like to get products that are chemical free. So I've been exploring like natural organic kind of soaps and things like that.
Right. Okay.
But you can see there's loads of options.
Yeah, I mean, these are brands that I would use normally. I can trust that they don't have additives, perfumes,
Yeah,
and stuff. So if
yeah.
they've got an actual bar of soap,
Cheap the Sonex one is as well.
£1.
Definitely lasts longer than a shower gel,
I know.
I'd say soap does.
For some reason, because that's 11,
Yeah, you kind of want to go.
it makes me feel like that will work better.
I think that's
And
just,
that's crazy. Yeah.
That's why people don't trust us when we say that our products are free. The downloads.
They are. I promise. There's no catch.
Well, you can pay for them if you want. There is options to pay, but we don't mind.
Oilatum as well. That seems like a good one. Okay.
The thing is with soap though, because I've got body soap, and then my next one is swapping shampoo and conditioner for shampoo soap bars and conditioner soap bars. So what I've had to do is buy a plastic container for my soaps to go in, because obviously they're damp and all this of it. But the great thing is that plastic container, I don't swap that every time a new soap's going into it, so it has reduced the plastic.
So I didn't even think about this. Okay, so you mix these with water in one that's already there. I think some of these might be like you wash them off and then put them in your hair anyway, but there's like dilutable, dissolving.
Oh, what? Yeah, I didn't know that you could get sheets. But yeah, I've had to buy 3 different coloured plastic containers for my 3 different soaps: shampoo soap, conditioner soap, body soap.
Right, but that's not single-use plastic, right?
Not exactly. Yeah, the soaps are gonna they come in paper,
right,
and then they're added into the container every time.
But again, if you didn't want to use ones, you could buy bamboo.
Yeah.
Things, you could buy metal containers, which I think would rust if you don't keep them.
I'm sure they'd be non-rustable, but it's better than that kind of going through loads and loads of plastic bottles.
Yeah,
isn't it?
definitely. Lexi's got a recommendation. You can use plastic bottles / cups as bird feeders instead of chucking them in the bin.
Yeah, that's the other thing, isn't it? Is trying to find something to make them out of.
Repurpose them, definitely.
And oh goodness me, I've forgotten what I was going to say about something to do with something else plastic that I don't use anymore.
Can I ask if, I don't know if you remember, but shampoo sheet or whatever they're called, the tablets that you use, would you say in price wise, how does that match up? Does it last the same amount as like a bottle of shampoo?
I only wash my hair once a week anyway.
And once a month.
Yeah, so I think that the soap bars last longer, shampoo and conditioner, but it's probably because you automatically just squeeze loads out when you're using it out of a bottle.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
We even started using those dissolvable sheets in our wash to do the washing as well, because that's less packaging. So they're like 1 sheet per wash, and the packaging is
like. So are these the sheets? Are they in these packs? Is that
But
what I'm looking at?
No, I think they're just I don't know, wash leaves, but the sheets for the laundry, put laundry sheets in. Yeah, it's come up already. Because again, I'm trying to reduce the amount of chemicals that I'm putting back into the water, and the chemicals that are going onto my skin. So there's like a double-edged sword here. It's like I'm trying to reduce my plastic, but also I'm looking at the ingredients that are in things.
Okay. So that's a good thing to bear in mind. If you've got ADHD or autism, you may have comorbid skin conditions.
Yeah.
In which case, look out for things that personally flare you up or.
But that's cool though, look. Ocean Saver, plastic free. They're less packaging, so it takes up less storage.
30 washes for a £5.
They tend to be a lot better value as well.
That's well good. So you use this instead of what?
Your
The cleaner and the
the
conditioner.
Yeah.
That's wicked.
In the wash, yeah. So
Okay.
there's something else and it's really bugging me in the back of my mind
Sorry, carry on. Nothing happened then.
Something else that I was thinking about with the soap, the conditioner, and the shampoo that I was like, oh yeah, I ran that, but I can't remember what it is now. But
I've
anyway,
seen people have washing tablets. Again, this is it,
Yeah.
isn't it?
but anyway, one of my other ones is face pads. So I cleanse, tone, and moisturize most nights. So instead of using, and I know that's cotton, but they're coming in plastic packs, I use the material ones. So I've got a little bag that are filled with the clean ones, another little bag that the dirty ones go into. It's one of the packs I've got on the left. Yeah.
Bamboo.
Yeah.
Oh, they look nice.
Yeah, and it's like, again, though, if you're ADHD, you're thinking, oh, I can't be bothered to wash them. You just got to get in the habit.
Yeah.
You know, it.
And this bag comes with them.
Yeah.
So you can just stick them in there and wash them when
Yeah. But to be fair, I tend to take them in the shower with me and, you know, just like take a handful in the shower with me and just keep this like kind of rotation going.
That's a hack. That's a hack. There we go. Yeah, now we're on a roll.
And then another one is deodorant. So I've switched to refillable deodorant, and I use Fussy. But there is Wild as well, which is like. So I actually went through a couple of different natural deodorants. That's exactly the same colour as what mine is.
It's a lovely colour.
Burnt orange, that one is. But yeah, so I went through a few different natural deodorants. You stink when you first start using them. It's really strange. You think, oh my God, it's not working. But then one of my students used Fussy and recommended it to me. So I went with, by the time I went with that one, I'd been using natural deodorants for like 6 months. And then I had about another 2 months of feeling like, oh my God, I smell. But then I think it gets in, like all the crap that you've been using gets out of your system. And then you start to regulate. But see that how it refills. So you get a subscription. And they send it as often or as little as you want. So I change mine to less and less and less because I don't go through it as quick as what they think. And you can change your smells, and you get 3 in the pack. The little packets that they come in are compostable as well. So the only plastic is the actual plastic that you add in the refill thing to.
Right. Okay.
So that's a pretty cool one.
That's awesome. Again, not sponsored. Although we'd like to get in touch.
Yeah. I'll shout you out on all of my social media. But yeah, so that's like, that was probably my most, oh no, that was nearly my most recent one. My most recent one is that I was drinking those, you know, the little like Actimel type bio gut yogurts.
Oh yeah.
Daily.
Yakult.
Yeah, I'd have one of those every single day. But then I was like, that's so much single-use plastic, like every day.
Okay, yeah.
And it was getting to me because I thought I've made all these other changes in my other areas of my life, but I'd added those in as part of like a health benefit.
Okay,
and yet I've now added in single-use plastic. So I very recently made the swap to buy in a big tub of Greek yogurt.
Okay.
And then just making myself a little breakfast in the morning with yogurt, fruit, and oatmeal or granola or something. So
something big like this, a big 500 grams. But you can also get like the tubs, can't you?
I always go like far yay, and that's how it's said, or whatever they say in the advert. But
far,
yeah,
age in it.
Yeah,
is that the protein one?
Well, it's just Greek yogurt.
I don't know why I always thought that was high protein.
Well, they're all high in protein, aren't they? Because the yogurts, yeah. But it's that one has definitely got the cultures, the live cultures, which is what I was essentially wanting from these little drinks. Yeah. So they are my swaps so far.
That's wicked.
All the soaps, the deodorant, the face pads, the yogurt.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, one that I'm very conscious of myself is I drink a lot of Coke Zero. And if I was to think
The
about
bottles.
every single bottle of Coke Zero, and it's like, oh.
See, I drink bottled water, but I do get an absolutely huge one that's like a big dumbbell once a week. So it's like, it's not bottled water in terms of. What is the other one? Having a water bottle. Like,
a water bottle.
Yeah, like
An actual water bottle rather than keep buying
water bottles.
plastic bottles.
Yeah.
And also, there's the tip of if you buy like an actual expensive one, then you will look after it. It won't just be like, I'll buy another one and then it gets left in your car and you don't use it.
And again, it's that not falling for the capitalist side of things of, oh, I need a new one, I need it up to, oh, look, that's a pretty colour. It's like, I know it's a pretty colour, but, you know, we need to switch off from this thing to have, like, all these things all of the time.
If you want to jazz it up and you want a cheap one, then just get stickers.
That's a good idea.
Literally a random pack of, there's 500 stickers for £8. Can share them between your mates.
Yeah, they are cool. I do use those stickers on a lot of things.
And then you can be like, Stanley who? I've got my cool sticker one.
I'm just laughing at Alexis comment. She's like trying to make us feel better that we keep hitting the intro. Like, it's fine. I like the intro.
I like you're making it seem better when saying we as well, and it's clearly just me. I like to give you the intro a few times. Do you know what it is? It's because the background looks exactly like the intro. So when I think I've clicked it and I've not, it takes me a second to get back off of it.
But just to wrap up the plastic thing, my next one is to start going to the fruit and veg shop so that I'm not buying plastic covered fruit and veg.
So didn't you go to a place? There's a place in Blaby, right? Leicester.
Oh yeah.
Eco Joe.
Echo Joe.
Echo Joe. Okay, when you typed this to me, I thought you'd.
Oh, maybe it's Eco Joe. Maybe that is how the means say it.
I just assume because it's refillable.
EKO Joe.
That does sound like Echo. All right, confirm it.
Yeah, let us know.
Eco.
No, I bet it is Eco Joe, of course, because it's eco.
Well,
that makes more sense.
Let's get it up.
But yeah, they do fruit and veg. They've got an allotment on site, and the fruit and veg. But there's a really good fruit and veg shop in the village next door, and we're lucky. We live with a lot of farms, so there's a beautiful farm shop in the other village that's next door. So it's just about
farm shops.
It's just about getting into that habit, isn't it? It's convenient to go to Morrison's and
Eco Joe, get you things sorted.
It's convenient to go to the supermarket and get it all in one go. But I'm serious about making these changes, and I feel like slow and steady wins the race, and these are little steady changes that I've made. Yeah, look, just look at the name.
Right, debate. Is that Eco Joe, Eco Joe?
It makes sense that it's Eco Joe. That makes far more sense. But I think it's the K. I just saw it as Echo, but of course Eco makes sense. But see, just thingy the mouse over that. That's it. Yeah, that's like their allotment patch. And they grow flowers and vegetables. So I think it's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, well, as far as I'm aware, they have a refillable station, right? Is that?
Well, it's just their fruit and veg is just in baskets, so it's like, you just go and
take your own.
Yeah, container. It's not all wrapped up or whatever.
I love that, and I feel like supermarkets tried to adopt that, right? And I feel like I've seen that just disappear since COVID. I feel like they were bringing them in, and now they've just gone again.
Yeah, I mean, in Morrison's say, look, unpackaged in the world. That's their thing.
Oh, I love that.
That's cute. In Morrison's today, I did get the broccoli that wasn't in plastic, and it actually is cheaper than the one that's wrapped in plastic. So, but this is the thing, they bring out these initiatives, but then they still leave the other version, and people just naturally go for that other version. Just take it away, just ban it, we'd get over it,
Exactly.
I mean, it's like this whole straw thing with McDonald's. I always remember seeing someone kick off and say, oh, I've just found out that the straws aren't even recyclable anyway, so what's the point? It's like, it's not about them being recyclable, it's about them being biodegradable. It's about the fact that they're not going to exist for a billion years. Like, that's the point of them. Like, oh, it made me so angry. Like, God, you shouldn't be drinking a milkshake anyway. Grow up. you're an adult. No, I'm only joking. I do like the milkshakes, and they do
I
go.
loved mine last night.
Yeah, and they do go. The straws do go sloppy, but get yourself a metal one then.
Yeah. Look,
Or take the lid off and drink it. Like, you know, it's a small problem, isn't it? It's like you've just got to get over it.
literally, like, I'm fully aware that if I had a straw when I'm drinking my Coke Zero and my crap, then my teeth wouldn't be half as yellow as they are. But I just can't, like, bring myself to.
I've got metal straws and I just don't like how they feel in my mouth.
Exactly. There needs to be a middle solution that, because I'm happy just putting the drink to my mouth as long as I'm not sharing it with people. Like, I feel like that's where I'm at right now.
Oh, that's cute. T-Rex has just popped. Got my rewards from Patreon in the post yesterday. Thanks, bro.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed them. You and Mark as well have received. Oh, I suppose Mark's in America, so God knows when his
Well,
turn up. But shout out, Mark. We've not seen you for a little while. If you're catching us on the catch up afterwards,
he's been engaging with some of the posts online, so hopefully you're all good, mate.
Yeah, and same to you as well, T-Rex. Appreciate the love, and thank you for supporting us.
I suppose we ought to wrap it up there. We've not spoke about our resolutions for this month, but we can save that till next week, because we already had a 40-minute intro, and it's like 8:10.
Yeah,
and I've not had my dinner yet.
Let the people go.
But this episode, we dedicate an episode to one of our Patreon supporters every single week. So this week we are dedicating it to Taz, or Tara, as you might know her. But we shouted her out last week as a congratulations for having her baby, and it was her birthday as well. And so I just thought it's the perfect person for this episode to be dedicated to, with so much going on to celebrate.
I think it's a great pick. I love that, and I hope you're having the best first few weeks with your baby.
Yeah, I'm going to visit tomorrow, so I'll get to see the baby, which is exciting.
That's exciting. Oh, we love a newborn. But if you'd like to be considered for the next shout out, and then at the end of the month, a lucky winner literally gets a fun pack that we send to you with loads of. It's different every time.
Yeah,
full of
prizes,
merch and chocolates and different stuff like that. But if you want to be included, there is a link in the chat box right now that I've just put in, and I'll add it to the description as well, where you can join our Patreon.
From as little as £1 a month. I mean, what fabulous value. You get shouted out and you get entered into a monthly prize draw. It's just £1.
And for you, it won't turn up in Spanish, I'm sure. For me, it does every time. I'm not too sure why. Espanol, no sprachen the English. Yeah, heaps of all the different things that you can. But like Lindsay said, literally from £1 can be included in this draw every week/month. So thanks very much, guys.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. If you've got tips for plastic, single-use plastic, get them in the comments below. Let's make the thread a useful, helpful one for our beautiful planet.
Oh God, please no.
I'm sure won't miss us if we disappear tomorrow.
That's the sad thing, right? They get on completely fine. It's us that needs this world, not the world that needs us. So let's look after it a little bit longer.
Exactly.
But I know all you guys in the lovely chat are doing that already. Thank you so much for supporting us. Let's spread all the good news, all the good vibes. Spread this episode if you want to share it to your social medias. Get the views out there. Help get our views up. We'd be really appreciated. But until next week.
So next week will be Thursday.
Oh God, yeah. I was like, why? No, forget it now. Next week, Thursday, but tomorrow we've got an interview with Louisa, and also still free tickets for you to win if you comment on the episode with Pip. It was released last week.
Fantastic.
This is Lindsay.
And this is Steph.
We're a different human design.
And this is a different podcast. Good night.
Why is it like this? Instead of hate, it should be love, we inviting. You don't agree, then you're the problem, now we're fighting. Open up your mind, stand up, become righteous. Why is it like this? Instead of hate, it should be love, we inviting. You don't agree, then